Welcome to the Travel Hacking Homeschoolers podcast. I'm your host, Candace Crompton. You can find full show notes from today's episode below, but let's dive into today's topic. So first, I am recording my first ever YouTube video podcast. So I will put the link in the show notes if you would rather watch this in person. Can't guarantee what the quality and what I'm going to look like every time I come on here, but I wanted to offer a different option for those of you who like to do YouTube videos. And for the ones that I did not record videos for, they will also be available on the YouTube. It'll just be audio. First, I want to say thank you to all of you who are sharing this podcast and subscribing to this fairly new podcast, and also for using the links in my show notes. That is so important because it keeps the podcast going and it allows me to bring you even better content. So again, I'm excited for what's to come. I have so much lined up for you guys, but thank you again for sharing and for subscribing. So today I'm going to share my favorite bank rewards program with you, why it's so great for travel of all sorts, and I'm going to give you a great tool at the end to get started using the program today. But hold that thought, because it's time to spotlight Travel Freely, a fantastic source that I use daily. If you're like me, you love to travel, and you love it even more when you can make those travel dreams come true without breaking the bank. That's why I want to share my absolute favorite travel hacking tool with you. Travel Freely. Travel Freely is the simplest way to keep track of your credit card bonuses. And the best part, it's 100% free. No bank logins, no hidden fees, just pure, easy to use travel hacking goodness. I personally use Travel Freely to manage my own credit cards, to track bonuses, and to keep an eye out on my Player 2 status. It's like having a personal travel assistant who makes sure I never miss a point, a mile, or a valuable travel perk. And now you can join me in becoming a travel hacking champ. I have a personal referral link for you in the show notes. Sign up for free today and start traveling smarter, not harder. With Travel Freely, your next adventure is just around the corner. Click the link, sign up, and let's make those travel dreams a reality. See you in the skies. So, what is my absolute favorite bank rewards program, hands down? It's the Chase Ultimate Rewards. And here are 3 reasons that it stands out above the rest. Number 1, the flexibility that it offers. Number 2, the ease of earning points with Chase Ultimate Rewards. And number 3, the way the point value can be maximized. So, we're going to break down each of these one at a time to help you better understand how Chase Ultimate Rewards works. And at the end, I will give you some tools to get started using this rewards program today. So let's talk about the first point, flexibility. So with Chase Ultimate Rewards, your travel options are really endless because you can book flights directly through their travel portal, and it's really straightforward. And it often gives you a pretty big bang for your buck. But that is just the first start with Chase Ultimate Rewards. So maybe like me, you prefer a particular airline or a particular hotel, like Delta or Four Seasons or Hyatt. So transferring your points to one of Chase's numerous travel partners, that's the key to really maximizing your points. For instance, you can convert your points to United Mileage Plus for a big European adventure, or you can transfer your points to Southwest Rapid Rewards for domestic travel that has no blackout dates. And it gets better. These partners, they're not just any airlines or any hotels. They are some of the most prestigious names in the travel world. So let's just take this for example. You want to go to Tokyo, but you want to travel in style. You want to do first class, business class. You can transfer your points to Virgin Atlantic, and you can book a seat in ANA's luxurious business class. Or maybe you want to take a trip to the Caribbean. Your ultimate rewards can become World of Hyatt points by transferring, and you can land yourself in a beachfront room at the Park Hyatt St. Kitts. So the transfer process is a breeze right from your Chase account, and it makes traveling globally and luxuriously way more accessible. I want to say one of my favorite bloggers, who is the Points Guy. I really love his material. I researched a lot today through his website. He had a really great article that listed all of Chase's travel partners. So I'm going to link that in the show notes for you. And hopefully one day we can have Points Guy on our podcast. Here is another kicker with flexibility. Most of the time, the points transfer 1-1 ratio, and it's instantaneous most of the time. So you could literally be looking at your points in your Chase travel portal, and the next minute have your points in a place that you can book a trip pretty quickly within minutes. Okay, so let's talk about number 2, the ease of earning Chase Ultimate Rewards. This is probably one of the easiest banks to earn points and miles with. This is why I talk about them so much and why I always highly suggest getting started with Chase Bank, especially if you're new to travel hacking. So they have great sign-up bonuses, and usually those sign-up bonuses are pretty easy to maintain or to attain. They also have a ton of card options that fit within every budget. So if you can't spend but so much per month, they usually have a card for you. And a need. So let's say that you buy a lot of groceries, or you take a lot of trips to the office supply store and you spend a lot of money there. You can find a card that works best for you for everyday spend with how many points per dollar you get for those particular things. Another perk are the bonuses Chase offers with your cards for travel, dining, and even streaming services. So accruing your points becomes really second nature with Chase. My favorite card to start with Chase is listed in the show notes. I've talked about this several times. It's the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. It's my go-to for beginning travel hackers. And if you're interested in a business card, my favorite is the Chase Ink Business, which is also in the show notes. Okay, so let's talk about step 3, or point number 3. It's the way a point value can be maximized with Chase Ultimate Rewards. This is where I get pretty excited because, as you know, we homeschool. For any of you fellow homeschoolers out there, or those of you who are able to travel with flexibility, this is where things get fun. We can really maximize our points and gain access to more luxurious accommodations and seat upgrades on flights if you have the flexibility to travel when you want to, not on a school schedule or when everybody else is traveling. We're talking off-peak. You can take advantage of also point sales like that come across your email to places that you may not have intended to travel, but you can because you have the flexibility. So for example, I have an app that I use a lot. It's called Roam Travel. I will put it in the show notes. It's one of my favorite ways to look at points, especially for first class, business class. And sometimes they'll send me an email that says, hey, this many points to this location. Well, since we homeschool, I can kind of look at that and go, okay, well, I can move my schedule around that if we want to take advantage of that low amount of points to get to that great destination with first class or business class. So that's another option. Chase's airline and hotel partners are the secret sauce to stretching your points even further. So think about, like, these are your first class tickets at economy point prices. Let's take British Airways Avios points, for example. You can snag off-peak short-haul flights, sometimes for as low as 4,500 Avios points. And that's less than most programs charge for domestic economy. And you're doing it in first class, business class. So let's say too, maybe you want to go to New York, you like the Hyatt, maybe you like the Park Hyatt, right? You can transfer your points and suddenly you are living the high life that would have cost you a small fortune if you had not had the option of the way the point value can be maximized with Chase Ultimate Rewards. And like I said, this is where things get fun. This is where things can get complicated because you get so immersed in looking at all the different options. But because you're flexible, you can do that. So the holidays are about giving, and what's better than a gift that's as unique as your loved ones? This season, find that one-of-a-kind present at Lindsay Letters Co. With their stunning collection of art, from festive holiday prints to custom canvases, you're sure to find something that says, "This is us." And for my listeners, a special treat. Use the discount code Crompton Chronicles for 10% off your order. It's all the more reason to choose a gift that'll make their walls talk and their hearts sing. Make this holiday unforgettable with a gift that truly keeps on giving, long after the decorations come down. Visit lindsayletters.co to discover the perfect gift. And remember, you'll find that code Crompton Chronicles in the show notes for today's episode. Happy holidays, and even happier gifting with Lindsay Letters Co. Okay, let's quickly recap those 3 takeaways regarding Chase Ultimate Rewards. Number 1, flexibility reigns supreme with direct booking or point transfers to top travel partners. Number 2, you can earn effortlessly through smart spending with Chase's cards that are tailored to your lifestyle. Number 3, you can maximize value by leveraging sweet spots within Chase's partner network for luxury travel on a budget. And I promised a guide at the end to help you get started with Chase Ultimate Rewards. And I've included this guide in the show notes for you today. You just simply click the link, fill out your email. I promise I will not spam you. I pinky promise. I might send an email once every couple of weeks. That's it. And as soon as you put your email there, the guide will come straight to your inbox. This guide's going to show you the cards that I recommended in the show notes, but also a few more, along with some notes from today's episode that's super easy for you just to save in your Google Drive or wherever you save your files to easily pull up for future reference on Chase Ultimate Rewards when you get your cards. That is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this first YouTube video podcast. Over the next several weeks, we're going to be breaking down all of the bank reward programs, each with their own guide that I will make specifically for each episode that you can download and save to help with your future travels.